this week on a Bubble Chat.
Well, it's sad that he lost his life, I guess. And I liked the song All Star when it came out the first 100 times I heard it.
My understanding was there was drag queen, and then it evolved into transsexual.
They showed that the strike, that this is not gonna, that this strike is not gonna end after today, tomorrow, and the next day. We're gonna keep.
I want to say that, everything is not going to be for everybody, and it's not to say they're not talented.
I know she had a hard life in a sense of, I think she was raised by a single mother, and her mother had a high expectation of her to be that breadwinner.
Hey, that's the thing she's talking about.
Oh my God! Is she not snatched? Is she not snatched? She looks amazing. I need that in a 2X for the Beyonce concert.
You're a mess. Welcome, dear listeners, to the Bubble Chat, the podcast that dives deep into the captivating conversation that bursts with insight and creativity. We're your hosts and are thrilled to have you join us with this exhilarating journey.
Here at the Bubble Chat, we're all about chatting about different topics that spark curiosity and challenge conventional thinking. From arts to culture to science to society, we're here to ignite your imagination and keep you engaged or bored.
But that's not all. Are you finished, Eve?
I'm finished.
Okay, just like you do. I'm letting sure I'm not interrupting you.
You my favorite nephew.
Well, but that's not all. In spirit of unity and appreciation, we're excited to announce that we'll be celebrating Hispanic and Latinx Heritage Month. Throughout the special month, we'll be highlighting the rich cultural history, accomplishments, and contributions of the Hispanic and Latinx community. It's a time to honor our roots, recognize the diversity within our heritage, and learn more from one another's story. It's not just about remembering history, but also embracing the present and shaping the future. It's a time to foster a cultural pride, acknowledge the inevitable impact of Hispanic and Latinx individuals, and build bridges of understanding across community.
Make sure to hit that subscribe button on your preferred podcast platform so you never miss an episode of the Bubble Chat. Whether you're tuning in during your morning commute or winding down after a long day, we'll be right there with you.
Yeah, well,
like a night. Developing fresh insight and thought-provoking conversations. Now, who's ready for?
We are. Well, before we start head talk, these look a little bit different today. You may have noticed that Mom's not here today because we have a last-minute emergency to take care of, and Eve is turning on her camera today. You're just going to hear her voice because left it busy didn't feel like telling her body.
Oh.
Why are you such a snitch? What a snitch?
Just let it all out. Shit.
You know snitches get stitches. So, speaking of Pop-Tart, what are we going to talk about, Joanna?
Oh, goodness. Well, in all seriousness, however, for our first topic, we find ourselves mourning the loss of a musical icon. On September 4th, 2023, we received somber news that former lead singer and co-founder of the renowned band Smash Mouth, Steve Harwell, passed away at the age of 56 due to acute liver failure. Just a day before his ultimate untimely passing, it was confirmed that Steve has been in hospice care battling medical complications. His manager, Robert Hayes, confirmed the news of Steve's departure, emphasizing that he was surrounded by his loved ones during his final moments. Steve Harwell and Smash Mouth left an incredible mark on the music landscape. His second album, Astro Lounge, catapulted them to fame, unveiling the chart-topping hit All-Star, which reached number 4 on the Billboard Hot 100. This catchy anthem became a fixture in pop culture, resonating with generations and defining a musical era. As we remember and honor Steve Harwell's legacy, we're reminded of the power of music to touch our lives, evoke emotions, and creating lasting memories. Now, I'd like to turn to you guys. What are your thoughts on the impact of Steve Harwell's music and his contribution to the music industry?
Well, it's sad that he lost his life, I guess. And I liked the song All-Star when it came out the first 100 times I heard it. But after a while, this shit got annoying, I think I still know the song. But, as with any person, as years go on, it's not without controversy that he had. I think he was at this festival in upstate New York or something. That was a sip festival or some shit, or a wine festival of some sort that he overdrank. And at the festival, he was drunk and gave the Nazi salute and got angry with the crowd and said, "I'll fucking kill your children," and all that. So not without controversy that he was out there. So while he's dead, he's also got his skeletons in his closet. Maybe he's on to resting in peace now, but that's also part of his legacy as well. So there's that. So I just thought to throw it out there. You feel bad for the family that he got to mourn his passing, but you also got to deal with that part of it. So that's all I got to say.
Any thoughts?
I hope he didn't suffer too much. And we have to realize that when people are, I'm not going to honor him in death because I didn't honor him in life. Him threatening people and doing the Heil Hitler is not cool in my book. But I also don't want to, make a big thing out of it. What I'll just say is, as far as having compassion for most people, I hope he didn't endure a lot of suffering and pain. I hope he's at peace now. And, I hope, his family remember him forever and share their cherished memories, of him. Because he obviously was liked and loved by a lot of people. I just happen to be not one of them, and I'm not going to be fake here. That's my 2 cents.
All right.
I think the news of his passing came as a shock to me, especially considering the fact that it was just after we learned that he was in hospice care. And I think it's a stark example that life can be incredibly predictable, as we and our loved ones often take for doing that they'll always be there. I think his journey and impact on the music industry are a testament to the fact that we should never wait to give our loved ones their flowers while they're still alive, and expressing our appreciation, love, and gratitude for people who make a difference in our lives is something we should do regularly. I can't one when they're gone. And I can't help but reminisce about the moment, like hearing All-Star in the movie Shrek. I remember sitting in my mom's house watching Shrek, and I would play that. I remember playing that song nonstop.
Yeah, I think that's where a lot of people know the song from, or I remember when the song first came out. So I can understand that. That's why I think you have a relationship with the song. so you can equate the song to the movie. You don't necessarily equate the song to the person. And I think I get that from you as so I think you can separate the person from the song. So I understand where you have a relationship with the song and the movie and all that. So I get it. So I do understand your point of view. So, I do understand that part of it for you and how that relates to you. So I get it. As a representative of the Bubble Chat, we extend our heartfelt condolences to the family and loved ones of Steve Harwell during this difficult time.
Now, in our next segment, we turn our attention to a recent statement from Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn. She discussed a bill designed to address what she refers to as compulsive internet usage in minors and implement certain restrictions on website functions for children. However, this proposed legislation has also raised concerns within the LGBTQIA plus community during a brief interview held on September 2nd. Senator Blackburn emphasized that protecting minors from the transgender influence in our culture stands as a priority for conservatives in America. She went on to assert that children are being indoctrinated through social media platforms and that the bill aims to shield them from being exposed to things that they are emotionally not mature enough to handle. Now turning to our co-host, what are your thoughts on the potential implications of the bill on both internet usage by minors and its impact on the LGBTQIA plus community? How do you see the balance between protecting children and addressing concerns raised by legislation? First of all and foremost, I would like to add my 2 cents. I remember when I was growing up that there was 2 major political parties. One was Democrats and one was Republicans. And Republicans allegedly believed in smaller government and were fiscal conservatives, and they were social conservatives. That's what I remember growing up. So I'm trying to figure out why there's this big influx of Republicans trying to put their nose and manage family decisions. I don't understand. So first of all, let's get clear. There has always been LGBTQIA plus since the beginning of time. I'm sure there was some homosexuals dragging their knuckles, right?
Probably. More than likely. The odds are, yeah.
I mean, it's highly likely.
It is.
And I'm sure and I'm sure there was some bisexual.
And I'm sure
I'm sure there were there was some people who
intersex. Intersexed is
intersex. Yes, yeah. Intersex, asexual, you name it. They've always existed. They've always been a part of us since the beginning of time. Now, whether as society changes and different cultures and different religions and different governments and different rules, sometimes they had to hide to survive. They couldn't be their true selves. Oh, I get it. I understand it. So what I'm saying is, it's not the government's business, in my opinion, to parent other people's children. If they have a single parent, active parent, they get to decide what their kids watch on TV, what movies they go to see, what games they play,
right?
What platforms they get to peruse. It's not, this should not, the government, the Republicans that I grew up with, I don't see too many of them. They should try to stay out of family. They really need to take their nose out of stuff that is not their business. That's my 2 cents. I think this legislation is too much. I think it's BS. I think it's intrusive. I think it's bigotry and bias. You know, when I grew up and I understand that some people might be offended by this, but this is my truth. When I grew up, my understanding was there was drag queen, and then it evolved into transsexuals, right? And that's what I grew up with. And now my vocabulary has evolved, and, some things I have been enlightened. I'm learning. I'm sure I'll make some mistakes as I go along. But my point is that I've always known that there was people that lived their lives a different way than I lived my life. And I was okay with it. There was nothing wrong with it. And I don't understand why they're trying to make transgender something wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it.
At all.
So, if you're not transgender, oh, good for you. Here's a cookie. And if you are transgender, good for you. Here's a cookie. But, it's so frustrating that people don't want people to live in their truth. And I think people should stay out of I think the government should stay out of that business. I really do. And the biases. That's all I have to say.
So there's a lot to this act, this Keeping Our Kids Safe Act, that boggles my mind, because it leaves a lot of ambiguous language, like most acts do, like what they can deem unacceptable for kids to view. They brought up slavery as being part of critical race theory, and that being unsuitable for kids to be taught because that's bad for kids' mental health. So now you're going to block that for kids not to be able to be taught. So you have that aspect of it. Then you have art being blocked. You have all these things that are being blocked. And I agree with you, Eve, about people policing their kids. It's like, it boggles my mind when I sit there and see kids that are like 3 and 4 years old and they can operate a phone better than me. And I'm like, I know our kids were on iPads early on, but it was like, we had to monitor what they were doing from an early age. We had to be there from an early age to know what they were doing, to understand what they were doing, but that's our responsibility. That's not some politician to make sure that to keep my kids safe. I don't need them to tell me how to keep my kids, or keep my kid if they're curious about if they are trans and they try to find information. Maybe they're curious about trans procedures, or their friend is trans, or they're trying to help their friend who might be trans, and they're trying to figure it out, or they're just curious. Like I was curious. I had a curious mind about all sorts of things. And I research everything. You know, I sit there and go down the rabbit hole about drugs. I never done a drug in my life other than drink alcohol. But I would research about drugs and what they do and what kind of after effects they did. Never smoked, never did any sort of drug in my life. But boy, I could tell you what their effects are, man, because I would be fascinated by it. But I'm also fascinated by other things. Like I've been fascinated, like even with this, when I was in the military, I had to teach people about trans. We had to talk about transsexual training. I had to teach people that stuff. So I had to do more research and be a little bit more educated about it. Instead of just sitting there, and when people were asking me questions, they would come to me and ask me questions, and I'd be like, instead of saying, I don't know, I'd have to go in there and do a little bit more digging. So I'm not a kid, but you know, if my kids were interested, I would allow them, want them to be able to have access to it. I wouldn't be upset that they were be researching that, but I would hope that they'd be able to talk to me about it. It just, you know, I don't think it's a politician's job to monitor what my kids are doing on the internet. I think it's their job to govern, but I don't think it's their job to monitor what my kids are doing on the internet. I don't think it's their job to, hell, they don't even do a good job of fucking governing. They don't pass any, they're fucking holding up shit. They're holding up.
Okay.
They're holding up promotions in the military because of the military's offering abortions. So they're so stupid right now. They're playing power dynamics and shit like that. So it's like, come on now, like do your job. And they're talking about closing down the government again. Like, come on. Yeah, just do better. But this is not one of those areas to do better in. Let parents raise their kids. That's all. Sorry.
I agree with you. And
In the latest news of the world of entertainment, Fran Drescher has been reelected as the president of the SAG-AFTRA, the actors union. This reelection comes as the union is in the midst of a nearly 2-month-long strike against major Hollywood studios. According to a statement, Fran received an impressive 81% of the votes cast. Drescher has been at the forefront of leading the union during a time when it joined forces with the Writers Guild of America in a dual Hollywood union strike. Actors initiated this strike in July, addressing pressing issues such as fair compensation from streaming services and concerns related to the increasing use of artificial intelligence in the industry. Now let's turn to our co-host. How do you perceive the impact of Fran Drescher's re-election on the ongoing strike, and what are your thoughts on the broader issues being addressed by the SAG-AFTRA strike?
I had the privilege of watching Fran's speech, and I must say, her voice serves a powerful example of what's happening in the film industry right now. Her words were not only inspiring, but also a poignant reminder of the ongoing changes that have been in her role. Her speech resonated deeply with me as it highlighted need for greater diversity, representation, and inclusion in the film industry. In a time when society is becoming increasingly aware of the importance of diverse voices and perspectives, her voice rang out to be a beacon of hope and progress. her message serves as a call to action, urging the industry to embrace a more of an inclusive approach to storytelling and representation. And watching her speech was a reminder that real change is possible, but it requires the collective effort of both industry insiders and audiences alike. And I was at the protest on school where we're trying to stop the tuition increasing hike, and strikes like this, they show that this strike is not gonna end after today and tomorrow after the next day. We're gonna keep fighting until we get what we want. What are you guys' thoughts? I'm rooming.
Yeah, so I didn't hear her speech or anything like that, but I know that I saw somewhere where Aaron Paul, I think that's his name, from Breaking Bad, he tweeted that he gets no money, residuals, or any kind of thing from the Breaking Bad being streamed on Netflix. And I know that's a big streamer on Netflix. People watch it all the time on Netflix. So I don't know if that's a thing that should have been worked out from AMC selling it to Netflix and then being worked out to the cast, but it seems unfair to me that the actors don't make any money from it being sold that way. So yeah, I think that they have their right and they should continue to strike and find fair wage. But on top of that, all these shows that we watch, if you happen to watch anything from Korea or anything like that, a lot of those extras don't get paid. A lot of the other things that go on, there's a lot of bad business that Netflix pulls off to bring these shows to TV. So Netflix is pulling a lot of shady stuff that goes on with these streaming stuff. So it's time that they are held accountable for their actions, even though they continue to raise your prices to bring you stuff. Yeah, they should be paying fair compensation and
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I remember Disney Plus when it first ran, it cost $100, and I think, and that's what I heard. It looks like it cost like 10 or like $17.
It's not going 17. I think it's like $9, not 17. Yeah, not 17. It's 9. I think 8 or 9. I keep track of it because if it's going up to 17, there ain't no way I'd be paying $17 for being sofa. I don't think.
Well,
your auntie would probably get mad at me because then she couldn't watch Mandalorian or Ahsoka or any of those shows because she loves Ahsoka. Man, I like Ahsoka too. I don't know if you had opportunity to watch Ahsoka. That's a good show, by the way, which we're going to go watch after we get done off here.
At least it's less cheaper. At least it's more cheaper than a Netflix subscription. That's for damn sure.
Oh God, Netflix. I don't even know what we pay for Netflix.
I think it's like $20 a month for one of the features at least.
I think we pay more than $20, but I don't know. Your auntie takes care of that one.
What is that?
So one, I want to say that I am very ignorant when it comes to the whole situation. And so I understand that they're striking. I have no problem with the writers striking. I have no problem with the actors striking, for their fair wages and their rights. I support them, but it's a support from ignorance. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I've heard bits of their issues, and so I understand why all of them are, striking. I get it, but, and I know that we don't know. Most of the actors will never know. They're not household names. We can't recognize them. I get that, but I see some of these people, and I know that they make 6 figures, 7 figures, in a year. And I mean, how many people can make 6 figures, 7 figures in a year? I'm not saying they don't deserve it. I'm just saying that they live in my estimation, they live a pretty good life, right? Yes, they have struggle when they're on a successful show, but a lot of these faces, I'm like, you had 7 seasons on the show. What are you striking about? You have a right to strike. I'm not knocking you for it, but you made a pretty good living. So I'm trying to figure out, what the deal is, because you signed a contract and you said you're going to make, and I'm just giving this is a guesstimate, just not particular actress or actor, but you said you're going to make, you signed a contract. Let's say they say $10,000 per episode, or $50,000 per episode, or $100,000 per episode that you're going to get paid. You signed that contract. So if they rerun it and you're not getting what's called residuals,
Yeah.
if you're not getting residuals, you signed that contract. So again, I'm not an actor. I'm totally ignorant, but I'm just talking about, I'm an average citizen, working a 9 to 5, a 10 to 7, whatever my hours are, longer hours when I own my own business. You're making X, Y, and Z, and not the average actor, but the ones that we see on TV. You're making these however many dollars per episode. I just don't understand. I don't know how many hours are involved in that. I don't. I know some of these actors and actresses are making millions. What are you striking for? I hear them, but I don't understand it. So my opinion is one of ignorance. So I apologize. But I support, because they have a right for fair wage. If they don't feel like it's fair, then I say strike. So they have my support on that note. That's my 2 cents.
Yeah.
Power to the people, and actors and actresses and writers.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's talk about Cardi B.
Yeah.
Up next, we delve into the vibrant world of hip hop, where the dynamic duo of rappers Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion have recently dropped their second collaborative track titled Bongos. This release has been eagerly awaited by fans and marks another exciting milestone in their musical journey together. What makes this collaboration even more intriguing is Megan Thee Stallion's decision to take a break from the music industry. This hiatus comes from the aftermath of dealing with the trial from trouble incident in 2020, when she suffered a gunshot wound to her foot from Tory Lanez, which subsequently sentenced to 10 years in prison for his role in the altercation, adding complexity to Megan's life and career. During a candid interview with Who Kid, Cardi B shed light on the creative process behind Bongos and the mutual trust and admiration she shares with Megan. Cardi emphasized that this collaboration had a positive impact on Megan, and both artists poured their heart and soul into crafting a song that resonated with their artistic vision and personal satisfaction. What are your takes on this collaboration and the challenges Megan Thee Stallion faced leading up to this? What are your thoughts on the significance of Bongos in her career and the hip hop landscape as a whole?
So I think they're extremely talented rappers. I do not like to refer to them as female rappers, because I get tired of that. We know they have vagina. They are rappers. They are both very skilled rappers, and I enjoy Each of them have raps that are my favorite. Some of my favorite, like I'll say in my top 50, they both have songs that are my top 50 of all time. So that's an accomplishment because, I'm over a half a century old. So I really do respect both ladies and their talent. I'm not feeling bongo. I'm more of a WAP girl.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that you're more of a WAP kind of girl.
I am. But I want to say that, everything is not going to be for everybody. And it's not to say they're not talented. I'm not to say that, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just not vibing with it. I like WAP. I like Bodak Yellow. I like Clout.
Clown?
Clout.
Oh, Cardi B Clown?
She's on there. She's rapping on that song. Mm-hmm.
I cannot help but share some personal thoughts on the dynamic collaboration between Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. What struck me the most is the undeniable chemistry these two artists share. And their musical partnership is nothing short of electrifying. And their synergy on tracks like Bongos and WAP is a testament to their combined talent and their ability to elevate each other's artistry. And the way their voices intertwine and complementing on another thing is truly captivating. And I was doing some research about this, and I believe Cardi was there for Megan, after she was taking some break. Megan was taking time off of music, to recover. And I think what she had to go through from being signed by Tory Lanez. And Ruben?
I haven't heard the song, so I'm probably one of the few people that haven't heard the song. So the only thing I know of the song is, I guess, Cardi B brought in some Dominican sounds to the song, so that's probably the only thing I can add to but I think, that's it.
Can I just say one more thing?
Mm-hmm.
Megan looked absolutely gorgeous at the VMAs in her custom Brandon Blackwood dress. I mean, sister, she was. They both are gorgeous women. I'm rooting for them. I'm just not feeling the song for whatever reason. Maybe they'll grow on me. I don't know.
I'm sure it will.
But if it doesn't, there's there's millions of people who are going to love it. So what does it matter whether I like it or not? They're going to be, in their mansions and driving their Bentleys.
Is that the thing she's talking about?
Oh my God. Is she not snatched? Is she not snatched? She looks amazing. I need that in a 2X for the Beyonce concert.
You're a mess.
Let all that fell of your light shine.
Well, oh my God. Well, as we kick off Hispanic and Latinx Heritage Month, it's that time of year where we celebrate the rich and diverse contributions of the Hispanic and Latinx community to our culture, history, and society. Today, we have the honor of highlighting an individual whose journey is an inspiring testament to the power of determination and innovation. Today, we're shining a spotlight on Richard Montañez.
Richard Montañez is perhaps best known for his groundbreaking contribution to the world of snacks. Working as a janitor at Frito-Lay in the 1970s, he had an idea that would change the snack food industry forever. Inspired by the flavors of his Mexican heritage, he created what would become one of the most iconic snacks in the world, Flaming Hot Cheetos. His innovation not only transformed Frito-Lay's product line, but also created job opportunities and economic empowerment within the Hispanic Latinx community. Montañez is journey reminds us that innovation knows no boundaries and our heritage can be a wellspring of creativity and inspiration. The success story is a testament to the incredible potential that lies within each of us, regardless of our background or circumstance.
Hello, lovely
I'm
listeners.
going to the club on a Tuesday.
Hello, lovely listeners, and welcome back to the Bubble Chat. We're excited to bring you something fresh and exciting today, a brand new segment that's sure to tickle your literally taste buds. Get ready to embark upon a journey of words, ideas, and imaginations as we introduce Joanne's virtual book club. Today, I have something to share with you. I briefly started reading Janet McCurdy's poignant and revealing memoir, I'm Glad My Mom Died. Now, I must admit, I'm not finished with it yet, but I couldn't wait to talk about it because so far I found it absolutely amazing. This book is nothing short of remarkable. From the moment I delved into the pages, I was captivated by Jeanette's candid and raw storytelling, and it's a brave and unfiltered account of her life filled with moments of vulnerability and introspection. I hope I said that right. One of the most compelling aspects of this memoir is how it peels back to the layers of fame and success, exposing the human being beneath the glitz and glamour. And Janet McCurdy's journey from a young actress in spotlight to the woman who penned this book is a powerful narrative of personal growth and self-discovery. One central theme that struck with me profoundly is her exploration of her acting career, particularly her time in Nickelodeon when she was playing Sam Carly. It's a candid revelation of the challenges she faced, the pressure of fame, and her genuine feelings about her career. And her honesty is both refreshing and heart-wrenching, providing valuable insights into the less glamorous side of the entertainment industry. I know Uncle Ruben or Annie didn't even read this book, but what are your thoughts based on my 2 cents?
Well, I know she had a hard life in a sense of, I think she was raised by a single mother, and her mother had a high expectation of her to be that breadwinner of being that, I hate to say it, but cash cow, and expected her to, so worked her kind of to death and expected that money to keep rolling in. From what I know of Jeanette McCurdy and her relationship and working all those years in Nickelodeon. So that's why I think she kind of checked out of the acting business for a long time. So that's what I know of her. I know of the book. Like I said, I know a lot about pop culture, so I know of the book. I never read it, but I think would be a fascinating read because the kids used to watch iCarly and Sam and Cat and all that stuff, and just to get an insight on that craziness that is that black hole of Nickelodeon and the mess I could imagine. It's just a madness that I couldn't imagine putting my kids through that torture just for a paycheck to live off of, to expect my kids to support me instead of the other way around. I couldn't do that.
Yeah, I grew up watching Nickelodeon. I grew up watching iCarly, Zoe 101, Drake and Josh, and I never knew that they were going through some really dark stuff until I became older. And I've been saying this a few times before. The one thing that I honestly found disgusting the most is that the Nickelodeon staff was trying to offer Jeanette hush money. I think it was like $300,000, but I commend her for refusing that offer because I I can't even begin to imagine being an actor leaving a TV show company that would put me through fucking hell and being offered hush money to not speak up about my experience.
Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, I think I remember reading something about that too as well. So yeah, definitely. There's no way I would take hush money just to yeah to yeah. You gotta let that shit out because Dan Snyder is kind of a dirtbag. Well, not kind of. He is a dirtbag, and he was allowed to be a dirtbag, and those kids weren't protected.
Honey,
No comment.
and on that note, make sure you check out I'm Glad My Mom Died. Alrighty, well, next we're going to be unveiling a new segment that's bound to ignite your cinematic passions. Movies have the incredible power to transport us to different worlds, stir our emotions, and challenge our perspectives. Whether you're a cinephile like me, a casual moviegoer like me, or someone who simply enjoys a good flick like me, Real Insights is your ticket to insightful and engaging discussions about the silver screen. This is Real Insights. So today we're diving headfirst into the enchanting world of the movie Barbie, the new Barbie with Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling. And let me tell you, it's a film that had me utterly captivated from start to finish. It isn't just a movie, it's an immersive journey into a world of whimsy, wonder, and the power of imagination. Directed by Greta Gerwig, this film is a testament to the director's creative vision and their ability to bring a beloved toy franchise to life on the big screen. First and foremost, let's talk about the heart of any great film. The story. Barbie offers a delightful narrative that weaves together elements of an adventure, friendship, and self-discovery. It's a tale that resonates with audiences of all ages, reminding us that dreams can come true when you dare to believe in yourself. But what truly impressed me is how the movie manages to capture the essence of the beloved toy spirit. The attention to detail in the set design, the stunning visuals, and the impeccable costumes all contribute to creating a world that feels like living, breathing Barbie dream. I'm going to be honest, I love this movie so much. I remember seeing the movie mostly. If you will see anyone wearing pink, you can tell that they're seeing Barbie. But the soundtrack is everything. I love the song Barbie World by Nicki Minaj, Ice Spice, and I love What Was I Made For by Billie Eilish. When I started listening it more often, I cried. What are your thoughts?
So yeah, I've been anti-Barbie for a long time, for 40, so yeah, no comment.
I'm Ruben.
I didn't watch the movie, but I heard the movie was pretty good for my daughter, so she went to watch the movie and she enjoyed it. So I guess it's a good movie from that point of view. So I don't play. When it comes to cable or whatever, streaming, whatever, I'll probably watch it then. I probably won't make your Auntie Eve watch it, but whenever it
I
comes.
don't do Barbie.
Yeah, she doesn't do Barbie, but I'll watch it. So I'll let you know when it comes.
I think it's already out on digital.
Well, yeah, I'm not gonna pay for it like that. No, I don't think I would. But
You're
I watched Little Mermaid the other day and made your Auntie Eve watch it. She said, "Is it a musical?" I said, "Yes, it's a musical." And then halfway in,
Unless it's Dream Girl.
unless it's Dreamgirls. She won't watch a musical. But then I was like, you don't turn it off? She's like, no, I'm invested. And then she watched it again, so I guess she liked
Put me
it.
to sleep.
She enjoyed it. So anything she enjoys, she watches again that puts her to sleep. So she must have liked that old Hallie girl putting her to sleep.
I do like her. She's a beautiful, talented. I love her. I love her. I love her. I'm going to spread some positivity because Barbie ain't it. Even though I did see some little glimpses of Issa Rae and in the movie, and she looked gorgeous. But yeah, outside of that, I'm not watching it. Not watching it. And I always hated Ken. I absolutely hated Ken.
You hated Ken?
Hated Ken.
Well,
he's like a younger version of all these politicians in Washington, D.C. Just fake as fuck.
okay. Well,
There you have it.
on that note, I think we.
Oh, did I say that? I'm talking out loud. And my head is talking out loud. I'm sorry. Joanne, I got something to tell you.
What is it?
You're my favorite nephew, and I love you so much.
And I love you, and Uncle Ruben too.
So that brings us to the end of another exciting chat here at the Bubble Chat. We hope you've enjoyed this episode as much as we have. Remember that Auntie Eve is anti-Barbie. And I'm just an old hag. I have some hateration. I have.
She has a lot of hateration in her.
There's some hateration there, but don't mind me. I know that. I my place. You get what I'm saying? Like I can feel the way I feel, but does it really make a difference to anyone? Not really. But like I said, it's come to an end, and we have different opinions. We have different ideals. We have different ways of expressing ourselves. We learn together. We grow together. If you'd like to stay connected and never miss an episode, be sure to subscribe to the Bubble Chat on your favorite podcast platform. And of course, sharing is caring. So please share our podcast with friends, families, anyone you would like to torture. Yeah. Anyone you would like to torture. I'm sure they love you forever. As we sign off today, remember that the bubble is always open and our next conversation is just around the corner, aka next week. Until then, stay curious, stay engaged, and keep those ideals bubbling. Kind of like bubble guts, huh? Thank you for being part of the Bubble Chat community. Until next time, take care and keep the conversation alive.
Bye, guys.
Bye.